Yep. How you doing? It's Coach C. Collins, and we're here at Coach's Rize Time, where I talk a little bit of basketball, give you my perspective, tell you how I see things in this basketball world, and hopefully you like what you hear. You take a little tidbit here and there for you coaches, parents, and players out there who like to follow and listen. Hopefully I can give you a little bit of insight and some things that can help you out. Again, you are more than welcome to follow me on my social media on HoopstarIM on Instagram. You can find me on the main show, Bout That Life podcast. The links will be in the description. Please feel free to reach out anytime, and hopefully, again, I can keep giving good content to you. We appreciate the support and the downloads we're getting from people right now. We're at 3,000 downloads, and it keeps going up, and we really appreciate it. Me and Mark, I know we really put our hearts and souls into this, and Ty as well. This is just a little extra something for some of you guys out there who might just be curious about my insight and what I can helpfully add to the table in this basketball world, because as we know as coaches, we're always trying to evolve and we're always trying to get better. So again, one small click for you is a big help for us. So please feel free to do that. So moving to today's topic, I wanted to talk about, in AAU basketball especially, you're going to deal with a lot of different characteristics, a lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, families from split homes, some kids with good backgrounds, great backgrounds, some with not so good backgrounds, tough socioeconomic status, Lord knows in this time of COVID, there's those even then that are willing to step outside, and those who are just they're living in fear and they don't want to be exposed in any type of way. And so these kids and athletes and as coaches, we're trying to maneuver it. I wanted to kind of talk into things that I don't tolerate on my team. Maybe these are things that kind of circle back to each other. Hopefully these are things maybe you as coaches, stick by, because, again, you got to have principles. My suggestion for you coaches out there, you can't tolerate everything. As my boy as my little nephew Anthony would say, this would be my response to most of it.
Too big, too black.
To be dealing with all that nonsense. So, you can't let that stuff happen to you. Most of the time, I just try to brush it all off or laugh at it. Again, this is something my nephew would say.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's just something I wouldn't deal with. But the biggest thing I wanted to get out to you guys is there are 7 things that I will not tolerate on my basketball teams. Again, some of these things might circle into each other. Some of you might vibe with them. Some of you don't. It's okay either way. Just, take my opinion. Maybe you learn something. Maybe it helps you as coaches and parents kind of what you want to look for your child. So first thing, number 1 is ego. I do not tolerate an ego. And let me be very, very clear on what I mean by ego. Charles Barkley kind of said it best. He said, everybody has an ego. Athletes or basketball players just have a reason to have one. I believe every athlete in some way, shape, or form needs some level of ego, because an ego with control equals confidence. Let me make that very clear. Let me repeat that again. An ego plus control equals confidence. So I do believe players need an ego, but an ego without control is destructive, okay? Ego minus control, destruction, okay? So please recognize the difference. Egos on the team, kids and athletes thinking they get to a level that they're beyond being coached or beyond being taught. Those are the type of kids I will not have on my team. You have to control that ego and have a selfless attitude mixed in with that. That's just for me. Number 2, decorations, as I call them, decorations or cheerleaders, kids that are just in practice just to be there. They're not working hard. They're not being involved. Something I'm big on is put-ups, being loud. A loud team is a winning team. Please remember that, coaches. A loud team is a winning team. So I don't tolerate kids sitting back being quiet in practice. And I got kids of all kinds of different personalities on my team. A lot of people love my 16U team and look at that as kind of the flagship team in the YBA program right now. And I have some really quiet kids on that team. And I guarantee you, when they're in practice, they're loud, they're speaking, they're motivated, and they're engaged. I don't do decorations. If you want to be an ornament, if you want to just sit on the side and be cool and look good for the crowd and be a nice little decoration on the bench, go play for somebody else. But that's something I don't tolerate. Number 3 for me is put downs. We do what's called the opposite on my team, which is called put ups. We put each other up. Now, of course, there's accountability. Like, on my high level teams, if one of my 3-point shooters goes 0 for 5 from the 3, yes, one of my main guys might go to him and say, hey, man, you got to make that shot. You got this, man. Move on to the next shot. Like, be confident. That's a put up. He is trying to put his guy up and hold him accountable at the same time. But what I will not tolerate is put downs. Yes, it's going back to second and third grade basics, but I don't care. It's a perfect word for it. No put downs. We're not here to put each other down, especially in the heat of battle, in the heart of a game. If you can't vibe with that, don't be on my team. It's pretty much that simple. Number 4 that I will not tolerate is parent arguments. What I mean by parent arguments means either arguing with other parents or arguing with me. And what I mean by argument with me is I have an open door policy where I have no parents questioning me after games. Even, most coaches say, hey, give a 24-hour period. I have no problem with any of that. However, this is my rule of thumb. First time, it's a conversation. Second time, it's a debate. Third time, it's just not a good fit, right? It's just basically that's how it works, right? Let me repeat that just so everybody hears it and understands. First time, it's a conversation, and this is talking about the same topic. Like, let's say playing time, right? You come and me talked about playing time for the first time, it's a conversation. The second time, it's a debate. You're now trying to influence me and fight me for your child's playing time. 3, we pretty much know it's not a good fit. So, that's something I definitely can't tolerate. Number 4, parent arguments. Number 5 is what I call these kids and parents no call, no shows. Parents and kids that always can never be at practice, that can, never show up to games on time, that can, always have an excuse, always have a reason. Of course, life happens. Totally get it. But if I'm only asking for you to come to practice one day a week for an hour and a half, and every single time you can't find a reason, but you sure as hell can find the time to come to the games, and then come to the games and then say, oh, I can't pay for the fee, yeah, we have a problem. We have a serious problem. There are a lot of coaches that are cool with just kids jumping on without practicing, jumping on without investing, jumping on without, learning and actually getting coached and getting better. I don't knock you for it. That's just not me. I won't tolerate that on my teams. If you want to play for my teams, you have to come to a practice. You have to say the tone of the team. You have to know what we're running, at least have a basic outline of it. Because, yes, basketball is basketball, but most coaches know, especially high-level coaches know, every system is different and everybody has a scheme and thing they're looking for. It's chess out here. It's chess out here, fellas, not checkers. So you guys need to know and understand that. You need to understand what's your piece in the puzzle, what's your piece in the game and the battle. And if you don't go to practice, how can you prep for that? So I don't deal with the no-call, no-shows. Number 6, I call them rage monsters, kids and athletes that are always angry all the time, no matter what you do. We can have a great, team barbecue, and they're still just mad at life. They're mad at the world. Doesn't mean I need a kid that's walking around with a smile, all super happy all the time, but you got to find joy in the game. You got to find joy. At the end of the day, let's be real. This is a game. This is a child's game that's influenced the world. People love it. We love watching it. We love marveling at athletes. We love seeing the phenomenal spectacle of the NBA and the hard work and grit of the college athlete and the wow and amazement of the youth high school level, and then, working from the grassroots level to get that prestige and that honor. I mean, fellas, at the end of the day, it's a game. And I can't deal with a kid that's just angry at life, angry all the time, and just can't be happy. He's the kid that's going to get you technical fouls every game. He's the kid that's going to have bad body language. He's just full of rage and anger all the time. Rage monsters are something I definitely can't deal with. And number 7, the last but definitely not least, in my opinion, what could make or break a team for you at times is the me-centric players, a.k.a. energy vampires. That is a term I wish I invented, but I did not. I wish I could take credit for that, but I didn't. But energy vampires, me-centric players are some of the worst things that could happen to your team. There's nothing wrong with recognizing your ability, or like even my star players. They know sometimes when they have to turn it on and off, but they also have a grip of, I need my guys playing at their best as well. I need to facilitate. I need to trust that they know what they're going to do and really have true trust in each other. When players become all about me-centric and you have a team of 7 or 8 players who are just all about themselves and their stats, and they don't see anything in front of or above that, that's a problem. That's a huge problem. You can't have me-centric players and hope to have an outstanding performance or an outstanding program. So these are my 7 things that I know for me as a coach I cannot tolerate on my team. It could be different for any of you guys. Maybe some of these things reflect for you. I hope that this is something you could take a little bit of information with, maybe some of the terms, and you can kind of match them on some of the kids and circumstances you see. So, let that be understood and let that, play out for you, because I want people to understand, like, you need certain athletes that are going to perform and do the right things for you. So with that being said, coming to a closing of the show, I hope you enjoyed listening to it. I hope you gained a little bit of insight. Just as I always said before, man, in Coach's Rize Time, I'm here to just try to provide you with a little bit of information. Again, the 7 things that I will not tolerate on my team. 1 is ego. Ego minus control equals destruction. Ego plus control, confidence. The other, number 2, decorations. I will not have decorations on my team. I have decorations on my Christmas tree. I don't need them on my basketball team, okay? 3 is put downs. We are here to put each other up, not put each other down, and especially in the heat of battle, I need my soldiers ready and willing to die for each other and work for each other to beat that opposing team. Number 4 is parent arguments. Remember, there's 3 steps to that. First one, it's a conversation. Second one, it's a argument. Third one, it is not a good fit, and it's just best that you move on with the team. Number 5 is no call, no shows. If you can't be at practice, you can't be a productive athlete. You can't be a productive athlete, you can't learn. You can't learn doesn't mean you can be a basketball player, because athleticism is not enough anymore. Number 6 is rage monsters. Kids that can't find joy in the game, that can't find joy in life. You try to help them. You do everything you can as a coach to try to help them and their family, and all they could do is just be angry. Makes it kind of hard to make a good team. And number 7 is me-centric players, a.k.a. energy vampires. Make sure these kids do not drain your team. Make sure they are not the ones pouting or throwing fits because it's not going their way and they're not getting 50 shots in a scrimmage. These are the type of things and situations that I think can help you, enlighten you as a coach. I hope everybody's out there doing well. Today is the 19th of November. We're hitting December pretty soon. Wish everybody a happy Thursday, and you stay up, stay safe, and with this COVID situation, hug and love your loved ones. I'm out.